Good morning. I joined First Presbyterian in January of 2014 after my husband and I moved to the area in August of 2013. I was a LaGrange native, having lived there all my life. I had been a member of First Presbyterian Church of LaGrange since the mid-1980s. So for the first time in my life, I was a newcomer, both in the community and in the church. I thought small southern towns had a monopoly on hospitality, but I quickly learned I was wrong. I was welcomed by so many members here, and within a short time, the 8:45 Sunday chapel service was my worship home. The faithful 8:45 group made it a point to get to know me, so I looked forward to worshiping with Dick and Brenda, Debbie and Leonard, Gary and Sherry, Mark and Jane, Jim and Ann, Weesey and John, Bebe, Tina, and the other regulars. Members not only encouraged me to join a Sunday school class, but also asked me to meet outside of church for lunch and dinner. I had truly found a caring Christian community, not just a place to attend Sunday worship. I found it humbling to be a part of a church with such a rich and long heritage of loving God and each other and serving its communities. I was touched by our commitment to our ministries, like the SAC Lunch Program, the Abbey, VIP, sister churches abroad, Christian education, our Wednesday night program, our music ministry, and our television ministry. As our congregation began its discernment process about denominational affiliation, I decided I would remain at First Presbyterian, regardless of the vote outcome. For me, the loving and caring fellowship was more important, as was the diverse local and foreign ministries than a denominational label was for me. My favorite parable has always been the story of the Good Samaritan. To me, in just 9 verses, it sums up all I need to know about God's love, how God wants me to love my neighbor, and about who my neighbor is. I feel like our stewardship campaign is an opportunity for us to be a good Samaritan. To me, our church is like the traveler to Jericho, wounded and in need of help. Like the Good Samaritan, we can be active in showing our love for our church. Like the Good Samaritan, who stopped on his journey to help the wounded traveler recover, we can stop on our own journey to help our church recover. Like the Good Samaritan did, we can give both our time and our money to ensure our wounded church fully recovers. The Good Samaritan didn't give the innkeeper a limit on how much he could spend to help the wounded traveler. He simply said, "Take care of him." I will keep the example of the Good Samaritan before me as I ask God how I can help take care of First Presbyterian, both with my time and my money. God led me to First Presbyterian, and now I am part of its 185-year witness to Him, and I'm blessed by its presence in my life. The Good Samaritan showed us what it's like to be a good neighbor. I want to be a good neighbor to this church. In closing, I would like to say that we have an opportunity right now in this place to live the example set by the Good Samaritan. Like the Good Samaritan, we can freely share our time, our money, and ourselves to help a wounded neighbor. Thank you.